Today, on the very first episode of ZNN, the Zed News Network. Zed gets destroyed in his own comments over a meme. What a loser. A story of a woman who poisoned her boyfriend for his $30 million inheritance. But there's a twist. And Zed shares an insane email from a book publisher about wokeness and his book, and the larger insanity that is DEI. Welcome to ZNN. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the very first episode of ZNN, the Zed News Network, the most reliable news station on the internet. Today I have a doozy of a story for you, something that I've been sitting on for a while and have finally decided to share with you. But we'll get to that. I got a couple of things for you. First, the book that I've been telling you guys about that I wrote that is coming out January 30th. You can now pre-order the ebook, and every pre-order that happens before the release date and that first week is very, very important. So for those of you that have already done that, thank you. And I will be recording the audiobook. It will be my voice. I'll be reading the book. So if you're waiting for that, that will be coming soon too. First things first, we got to get to the controversy in the Zed comments, all right? This is a very big deal. There's over 3,000 comments on this video. It was Laugh You Lose, number 177. 3,000 comments, most of them having to do with this meme. Don't call yourself a rock fan if you don't know who this is. I had this one before. That's Pat Benatar. Everyone knows that. On to the comments. Sorry, Zed, but that was not Pat Benatar. Have you never seen Wayne's World? Not Pat Benatar. I hope that Pat Benatar comment was a joke. That was not Pat Benatar. It was Tia Carrera in Wayne's World. I hope you're joking about that being Pat Benatar. Guys, I'm not joking. Whatever reality you want in 2023 is reality. And my reality is that's Pat Benatar. You can't tell me I'm wrong. If you do, you're canceled. So stay out of the comments. Relax. Some of you actually thought I was serious, by the way. So maybe they're new to the channel because I'm never sarcastic ever on that stuff, ever. Story number 2. I'm going to give you a lesson of the day every time we have one of these Zed News episodes, right? So today's lesson, onto this story. North Dakota woman accused of fatally poisoning boyfriend over $30 million inheritance. This lady right here, she's been dating this guy for 10 years. He gets an email and says, you have a long-lost relative. You won $30 million. Her and the boyfriend and a bunch of friends, the article said, they went to the airport to get this money. They were going to meet, sign something, and then they were going to have the money. But he started feeling sick. He started feeling woozy. Started acting like he was drunk, but he didn't drink anything. Next thing you know, he's at home, and he doesn't wake up. Turns out she poisoned him with antifreeze. It was a horrible, horrible story. The twist comes in. There was never any inheritance money. The guy got duped by someone in Africa. So the lesson of today of this Zed News episode, A, don't get scammed by someone in an email. If someone's emailing you saying you have long lost relatives that are giving you money, it's probably fake. It's probably a scam. And B, know who you're dating. I don't know how you test that out. Like if you inherited a bunch of money, figure out how they would react, because this is life lesson. Learn through them. Learn through their experience. Third thing today, we're going to do a meme of the day. I know we do like 70 memes on each episode, but we're going to do a meme of the day here. And this one pertains kind of to, what's going on in the world right now, especially in America, just the West in general. When you're 8 years old and learn that you're responsible for slavery, the Holocaust, crusades, and the colonization of Africa. Look at that. Poor guy. 8 years old, he's responsible for all of it. Right out of the womb, he's responsible for it as an individual. It's a crazy thing, which is like, that's the mentality now. There are really people that think that. Now, on to number 4, today's story that I have for you guys. I have been sitting on this story for a while. I thought, maybe this is not, I don't want my book to be associated with this at all, because that's not what the book is about whatsoever. This book is not political. It's not about any of this social stuff. I mean, it's just not. It's not what I meant it to be about. It's a personal story. I'm sharing it with people because I think it can help them. period. Anyways, so here's how this whole process works. For any of you that are wondering how the publishing world works. So before I share the email with you that kind of sparked this whole reason for sharing this story with you. You want to write a book. There are two ways. You can go to get a publisher or you can self-publish. You can do it on your own. If you self-publish, it's much more lucrative. You can make a lot more money per book sale. And I'm being 100% honest, I do not care about the money. I absolutely 100% do not care. The one thing I care about is as many people reading the book as possible. That's it. And if money happens to come with that, that's great. But that's not why I wrote this book at all. So, that being said, if you go the publisher route, you can usually, hopefully, find a larger audience because they can help you, publicize it. They can help you get into stores, stuff like that. They have resources that an individual author generally doesn't have. So anyways, I wanted to do that. It's very hard to do that. There are a lot of people trying to get things published. So I approached an agent because you can't approach publishers directly. And I said, hey, here's this book I have. I've been writing it for a couple years now. This is almost a year and a half ago now, almost 2 years ago. So this has been like a 3-4 year process, by the way. I approached her and I said, hey, I've got this book. Would you want to represent it? Would you help me pitch it to publishers? She said, I like the idea and let's do it. I will absolutely represent it. So her and I, we put together this package. We put together, 20-page PDF, sample chapters, who we think the readers will be, why they would want to read such a book, stuff like that, an outline. And we got this together and we sent it to publishers. Then it's just kind of a waiting game. So send it to the publishers. And what do you get back? Some places, they didn't think it fit their company, which is totally understandable. They might publish other types of books, and they just, maybe this isn't quite our cup of tea. We wish you luck. It's a great idea. That was the first couple places. And then we got this email. This is a real email, a real quote from the email. I'm not going to tell you who it was from exactly, but this is what we got back. I can only be rather blunt here. We are an independent publisher owned by a woman, an immigrant. We may not be fully woke, but we're trying. So when I saw that, I was like, wait, are they joking? Like, did they even read the book? It's owned by a woman. Okay, I don't care. I work with women. My agent's a woman. Everyone at the publishing house that I've worked with so far is a woman. My editor is a woman. I don't care. You know why I work with them? Because they're the best at their jobs. They're really good at what they do. That's it, period, because I don't care. So why would I care here? Why? I don't care. Did you read the book? An immigrant, again, I don't care. All I care about is, did you read the book? Do you think it's really good? Will it sell? Will people want to read it? Like, will it spread further with your company? That's what I want to know. Did you read the book? Clearly, they didn't. And in here, they even say, we may not be fully woke, but we're trying. So essentially saying, we're not going to read your book. We're not going to represent it. We're not going to publish it because you don't fall into the right categories. Straight out of the guy's mouth. This is, we sit and we talk about wokeness on this channel. We laugh at people that act hysterically, like the lady that screams at Trump, right? It's like, what crazy, insane behavior. But this crazy, insane behavior, it is now leaking into places possibly like where you work. And I'll get to that in a second, but especially in the world of publishing. And I didn't know this until I started going through this process. So for example, here's a couple of articles detailing this DEI push in publishing. Publishing professionals push for diversification throughout industry and the unbearable whiteness of publishing revisited. And there are many, 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 many articles about this. Many. The point here is meritocracy, true equality, doesn't exist. And this is, like I said, this is happening in a lot of places. It used to be, what was the best story? Do you have something like Harry Potter? Do you have, what is that one book? A Million Little Pieces. Remember how viral that book was, which turned out to be a fake story? Anyways, is it something people will latch onto and read because it's good? We don't have a meritocracy anymore. The irony is that they are allegedly trying to be inclusive by excluding qualified people, which is kind of hilarious. Not only that, they are diminishing and patronizing So if you fall into one of these demographics and you have a job and you're well capable of doing that job, people aren't going to see it like that. They're going to say, oh, well, you got hired because they needed to fill that percentage at their company. But that person could be well qualified. So it's diminishing their ability, which is, if I were in that demographic, I would hate this. I would loathe this. This is not fair to them either. Anyways, I felt the need to share the story and speak up about this because this is wrong. It's completely wrong. And my hope is of this video, if you are watching this right now, I know at your companies, you may have this training. You may have these DEI initiatives. And I know that because I have friends who work in big corporations who tell me this stuff. And and here's my hope. This is something my friend told me. They were doing one of these conferences, right? These where they all get together and they talk about things. And everyone sat there and didn't say much until finally one person spoke up and said, nah, I think you guys are wrong. I think this is kind of, this as a whole is wrong. And it doesn't feel right. And then all of a sudden one other person said the same thing. And then another. And all of a sudden they realize, wow, like way over half of us think that this is stupid and wrong. And it's not fair to either side of anyone in these companies, or in this case, publishing. And all of a sudden, things started to change. So my hope is that sharing this story, maybe next time this comes up at your company, you say something, you speak up. Because we should. This is wrong. It's wrong for everyone involved. To finish that story, we did find a publisher, Post Hill Press. They've been nothing but amazing. But the crazy part to me in this whole thing, like I said, this story has nothing to do with my political stances. It has nothing to do with any of that. I hope this story reaches people that don't even like his education content. That's my hope, because I do think it's a very valuable story. And they didn't even want to read it just because of the categories I fall into, the inherent traits that I have, which is mind-blowing to me. I cannot even believe this happened, which is, shame on me a little bit, because this happens all the time. This happens to people every day. And now I'm finally seeing it happen to me in the publishing world. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Have you ever encountered this at work, and what are your thoughts? And one more thing too, like on this, if you speak up about this, generally there are people that say, whoa, shame on you. You're a racist. You're a bigot, blah, blah. That's insane too. Those people, they don't have a lick of intelligence, and shame on them. They don't deserve any word in the conversation because they're not bringing anything new to the table. They're not critically thinking. The answer is so simple. You don't even have to do any of this stuff. The answer goes back to kindergarten. Don't you guys remember learning to treat everyone as you want to be treated? Especially if you went to church on Sundays, you went to Bible school, you learned that. It truly is that simple. It doesn't matter what someone looks like. It should only matter on merit, period. Merit. Meritocracy. And I think we need to speak out and try to shift back to that as quickly as possible, because this is insane. Again, let me know what you think in the comments. Share your stories in the comments. I hope you decide to purchase a book. Every book, like I said, every book between now and the first week, go to the first week of sales. It would feel really nice to go back to these publishers, or at least have them look in from afar and say, wow, we messed up on that one. And then I hope the book spreads further after you guys read it on its own merits. I hope you guys think it's good enough to share it with your family and your friends. And then they regret it even further. But that's for you guys to decide in the future. That's it for today's episode of ZNN. We will see you tomorrow on an episode of Try Not to Laugh. That's it for today's show. I'm Tyler Zed, and this is Zeducation.
For the children.
Idiots.